Good morning to everyone present here. I'm Ramya Devi working as Assistant Professor in SNS College of Technology. Today I'm going to share a small article regarding working principle of PHP. PHP is a server-side scripting language. It is mainly used for creating dynamic web pages and web applications. So unlike HTML, which only displays fixed content, PHP can process data, interact with databases, and generate a customized web pages. So here PHP stands for Hypertext Preprocessor, and it is open source and commonly used with web servers like Apache, HTTP server, and databases such as MySQL. So the main basic working principle of PHP includes like the step-by-step process. Like the first, user sends a request. So here it works as a client-server architecture, and here the request from the client has been made. Like a user is sending a request. A user opens a website in a browser and requests a PHP page. For example, user types a website address in the browser and the browser sends a request to the web server. So, and after that, the role of the web server is it receives the request. So, the web server checks the requested file. If the file is normal HTML, it sends it directly. If the file contains PHP, the server passes it to the PHP interpreter. So here the PHP interpreter processes the files. So the PHP engine reads and executes the PHP instructions. So during the stage of PHP, it can perform calculations, process forms, access databases, manage sessions and cookies, and also handles files and generate a dynamic content. And finally, it interacts with the database. So if required, PHP communicates with databases like MySQL. For example, if we want to fetch some user details or check some login credentials or store some information, the database sends results back to P. And the database will fetches all those information and it will sends back all the results to the PHP. And finally, the PHP generates a HTML output. After processing, PHP converts the result into pure HTML. So that is the response to the client. So for like example, browsers cannot understand the PHP directly. So browsers can only receive the final HTML output. So the server sends response to browser and then the web server sends a generated HTML page back to the user's browser. So here the browser displays the web page normally like it is sending the response to the client to who has raised the request. So basically your PHP is a client server architecture. So works as first the user browser request sent and then the web server plays a role and PHP interpreter executes and database interacted and HTML is generated and then the response is sent to the browser and also the web pages finally displayed. So what are all the important characteristics of PHP? So here it is based on the server side execution. Like PHP runs on the server, not in the user's browser. So the dynamic, it can also create web pages based on user actions or database data. So and also the PHP can easily connect with the databases. Um, so that for storing or retrieving any information. And then the PHP is basically a platform independent, like PHP works on Windows, Linux, and also in Mac OS. And also PHP is an open source, like it is free to use and widely supported. So the main advantages of PHP is it is very easy to learn and fast executed and supports many databases and also it has a large community support and suitable for web development and also it is very cost effective. And when in terms of security, here the source code is hidden from users and also the dynamic the pages change based on the user input and it is executed very fast it has an efficient server side processing and as discussed it is platform independent. So and this is a simple workflow of an PHP. Like first the user submits an login form, PHP script receives a username and password, PHP checks data in the database and if valid user is logged in, result page is sent to the browser. So the main limitations of PHP includes it is mainly focused on web applications. Poorly written code can reduce the security, and also the large applications may become difficult to manage without the proper structure. Thank you.